Let's go into the heavy stuff now, right? As if spirit and soul wasn't heavy enough. Let's look a bit of religion, a bit of spirituality. So one of my clients once asked me, Lorna, where am I supposed to go for my spirit? And she explained that it felt to her that she was supposed to go to her doctor's surgery that was actually over the road from my therapy room, weirdly, right? To her doctor's surgery for her body, come to therapy for her mind, and go to church for her spirit. And just Bianca, as you mentioned there, that as contemporary clinicians, we have to acknowledge this overlap between psychological and spiritual dimensions and understand the beliefs of our client, what they may be with every client. Yeah. And there's no right or wrong form of belief or faith or whatever that is. 5% of therapy patients express discomfort discussing their spiritual concerns with the therapists. Well, if we're all talking about the body, very quickly the spirit's coming in. We need to have some space for that. So let's look at a bit of what's the difference between religion and spirituality. Okay, so religion, often maybe referred to as faith, is associated with buildings, rules, repetitive ceremonies, scriptures, artifacts, commandments, dogma, trained official, god or gods, often perceived as a male attachment figure who is stronger or they're wiser beings. So many people might have experienced going to Sunday school or something religious when they were small. There's something maybe in that child ego state when they were small. And in our therapy rooms, we will experience, and again, please tell me I may be missing something here, Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Sikhism, Judaism, anything else that I could be missing here? This is what I tend to work with in my work. Yeah, very different to spirituality, different energies here. So spirituality tends to be more spontaneous, associated with love, inspiration, wholeness, as is religion, mystery, personal devotion, nature, and wellness. So for us as therapists, what are we noticing is important to our clients? Freedom to choose, not to conform. Often more feminine figures feature in spirituality as attachment figures, as guide. Nature and wildness play a far more prominent role. So within religion, Robin Dunbar believes that religious beliefs arise from ignorance and superstition, because Dunbar stipulates two reasons why religion is persistent and why they persist. One is the fact that on average, religious people are generally happier, healthier, and live longer. And two, religious people are more likely to feel part of a community. It has a very different energy. I'm just going to shift that energy. So with spirituality, let me take it back a bit. Yeah. So with spirituality, for most people, it has involved struggles, suffering, and pain. Yet healthy spirituality, when we connect in that space, that dual awareness, when we are regulated, yeah, healthy spirituality can give a sense of peace, wholeness, and balance across the physical, social, and emotional aspects of our life. This increases endorphins, serotonin in the brain. Yeah, we know what yoga does, but spirituality creating a place of peace, and again, where we're able to have that internal connection through our body, through movement, to connect with our spirit, soul, spirit. And many spiritual activities do include movement, the body. So I'm really bringing your clients' bodies in here, right, as a tool to regulate. They connect with nature. So they may be swimming. Think of your clients here, what they do. Swimming, walking, gardening, dancing, increasing serotonin, moving their fascia, moving the tension in the body, water, and what water might mean in your work. So water appears in my work in many different shapes and forms, right? And I'm always fascinated, literally to the point where I'm thinking, I can't believe they've brought the water in. The clients bring I don't bring the water, they bring the water, right? So Jung said that water is the commonest symbol for the unconscious, right? And the most common archetypal symbol for all religions. So in Islam, there's something called the primordial water, and it's the origin of life in which all things emerge, full of potential, but not yet manifested into creation, purifying, cleansing the outer body and inside soul, yeah. Newborn, you know, when people are newborn Christians, they're down, right? They're fully submerged in water, then they're reborn with the first breath. Hindu rituals, a lot of them include water. It's believed that water has spiritually cleansing powers. In Sikhism, ashes are scattered in the river or sea and are part of the cycle of rebirth.